Hi everyone, my name is Florence Yuan, and this is the second in a 6-part video series that I'm doing in collaboration with EVOLVERE Mental Health. For this episode, we'll be focusing on application tips, whether that's to medical school, graduate school, residency, etc. I'm releasing this video now because residency applications are going to be sent out to programs in about a month toward the end of September. And so I figured that this would be relevant for people who are trying to put together their applications right now. However, pretty much no matter what you're applying to, these tips hopefully can be helpful. Tip number 1, be kind to yourself. You've completed dozens of classes, taken very difficult exams, and given up sleep and social time to complete fulfilling yet challenging activities of all kinds. You worked hard to get where you are, and you deserve to be here on this path. You may need to remind yourself of this several times throughout the process, but always keep this in mind. Tip number 2, be patient. This process is maddeningly long and anxiety-provoking. Remember that there are humans on the other side, program coordinators, program leadership, school administration, who are trudging through thousands of applications to figure out who might be the best fit for their school. They need time and sleep just like you do. Tip number 3, avoid exaggerating or bending truths on your application. Especially in medicine, you're entering a profession where honesty and integrity are of the utmost importance. What you say has consequences. Start taking responsibility now, even and especially when it seems like it doesn't matter. Tip number 4, don't apologize for mistakes or flaws. Take responsibility, but focus on what you learned and how you're a better person now. Failure builds resilience. You don't want to be the person who first encounters failure as a medical student or graduate student or a new doctor and can't figure out how to deal with it. You will encounter failure many times in your life. You probably already have, and you will continue to fail and make mistakes throughout your time in training. This is normal and should be embraced. Tip number 5, during application season, but also in general, spend time with friends outside of your field. It's often hard to remember that life goes on outside of medicine and training and school. Be generous with your friends and your family and the rest of your support network because they're going to be the ones who hold you together throughout this process. Tip number 6. This is more specific for people who are applying through the couples match process for residency, as I did. But it can apply to anyone who has a partner or a spouse that they're going through this process with together. Be willing to have tough conversations and have those conversations early. How far apart are you willing to be? At what point would you rather be far away than be at 2 meh programs? At what point would you rather not match than both match at programs that you didn't like? Have these conversations early, before interview season starts, and especially before you're deep in the stress of making your rank order list. For those of you who are couples matching for residency, there's a website that my partner and I used to make our initial rank order lists that I highly recommend, and I will link that in the description. Tip number 7, the final and maybe the most important tip. Self-care is vital now more than ever. The things you do in your free time will keep you sane and help you recharge. Work on establishing healthy habits now, whether this is exercise, meal prep, debriefing with friends and family after tough situations, whatever it is that brings you joy and helps you recharge, practice those things now, before, during, and after application season. That's pretty much it. Those are my 7 top tips for application season, whether that's medical school, graduate school, residency, whatever it might be. Hopefully these tips were helpful for you, and let me know what other tips you have in the comments down below. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next episode.